besties, welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, we are going to be going over our portfolio update for April. Now, I really enjoy taking this information down and keeping track of it because this portfolio will directly impact our FIRE. So FIRE basically is, again, financial independence, retire early, and we are really structuring this portfolio to be able to sustain and support us because when you retire early, you have a lot more years that you need to allocate money for. And so that is how we are building our portfolio. Now, keep in mind, this is not like our net worth video. This only includes 5 main slices. This is our retirement, our taxable brokerages, rental properties, cryptocurrency, and anything that's other. That's metals, that's the Wizard of Oz plates that I bought, things like that. That is what other is. Now, not included in these numbers are our primary home, stock options, car values, my husband's business, and any potential inheritances. And just a side note, I do include potential inheritances. My husband and myself are the beneficiaries of a couple of people's wills and insurance policies. And though you're not thinking about that, and I would much rather have the people here, the fact is that they are older, and that's why they have, asked us to, sign our names and be the beneficiaries. And the thing is, guys, a lot of people will walk up to a death and get money in their hand and not know what to do. And it's always, always good just to have a side note or a sticky in your mind, like, okay, I need to have a plan for this money. What am I going to do to maybe honor their memory? What would they prefer me to do? Maybe buy a house, or just, it's always good to have a plan, especially if you are going to receive an inheritance soon or in the near future. My grandmother, for example, we are the beneficiaries because my grandfather died and she's 79. And so again, these are things that you have to think about, though you would much rather have the people here. So I do have this here, though we're not including it in this. And I hope we don't have to include this for a long, 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 long time because I love my grandmother and I want her here. But so let's go up here to our portfolio breakdowns. Like I said, we have 5 main slices that make up our portfolio. And so we have our retirements, we have our dividends, growth stocks, the regular brokerage accounts for the children, our rental property, other, like I mentioned, is plates and metals and things like that. Our emergency fund, our cryptocurrency, and our second rental fund. So if you haven't heard the news, I posted this on my Instagram on Saturday, but my husband and I are officially buying our second rental. Our offer was accepted and we close May 26th. So thank God for that. But this will change at May. I'm not going to change anything like add the second rental or anything until after closing because we want it to be official. So as you can see, this all is pretty much the same at $410,336, which is pretty awesome. And when I think about this more, I think about how when I posted our last net worth update, we had over $1 million in assets. So this just show you how much, the stock options and your home value and my husband's business really impact your net worth. And that's why it's so important to be so diversified in your different asset classes, because you don't want to invest in one type of thing and all your accounts. So for example, if you have a Robinhood account and you have a 401k and a Roth IRA and you are invested, let's say, in VOO, which is the ETF index fund that tracks, the top companies, the top 500 companies on the S&P 500. Well, if you own VOO in your 401k and in your HSA and in your Roth, you are not diversified. You just have different types of accounts, but you're invested in the same thing. And so the idea is to be well diversified. But it all depends on the type of investor you are as well. So you may be an aggressive investor, maybe you're moderate, maybe you're conservative. My husband and I are moderate. We feel like with the education and the research that we have been doing, we know we can dabble a little bit here with growth stocks. We can focus maybe more on safe conservative stocks in our retirement and different things like that. That is how we are structuring our portfolio. But as you can see, all the real numbers are here. All the balances are here. And as you can see, we have our current percent allocation and our goal percentage allocations. This is key for us, guys. And we're still working the numbers here, and this may change in the future, but for right now, we really like the goal allocation we set for ourselves. But if you look currently, we are all lopsided in everything. But the great thing is, as the months go by, as the years go by, and we continue to update and input all of the data, it should even itself out. As you can see, we want to have 40% of our retirement as a goal allocation. Usually when you retire at your normal 65, 67, or whatever the age will be by the time, we get Social Security or anything like that, usually you may have it at 65, 70%, but because we want to retire early, we don't want to be heavily weighed in, our retirement. We want to split it and put some in dividends, some in growth stocks. We want to have some in a regular brokerage account. We want to have 25% in rental properties. We may bump this up just a few points, it depends, but 25% currently we want as a goal for rental properties. 1.5% in other. We want our emergency fund or cash at 6%. And our goal here is to have 2 years worth of expenses by the time we reach FIRE. That's an idea that I got from Our Rich Journey. It's a great channel. Anybody who is thinking of pursuing FIRE probably have heard of them. I will link their video up in the cards if you want to go take a look at their channel. We want to have 5% of our portfolio in cryptocurrency. We are big believers in cryptocurrency, and 1.5% in a fund that will be able to help us with future opportunities. So maybe something will come up, maybe being an investor in a startup will come up, or something like that, where we want to have some cash set aside to be able to be involved in that. So as you can see, we have our allocations down here. I have all of this individually broken out down here. I have it blocked out like I mentioned on our net worth update because we have some family and acquaintances that are, want to know more information about it. It just gives us a tiny bit more privacy, though honestly, you can see all the numbers up here. And let's see, over here on our graph, we can see our current allocation. So 51% currently is in our retirement accounts, which is not bad for just getting started, I would say about 6 years ago. But we want to definitely see that number come down a little bit, and the percentages in some of our other areas go up some, just to keep the portfolio balanced and weighed the best way we can. As you can see down here, I love this, and I've gotten so many comments about this order of withdrawal chart. I'm really glad that you guys are liking this, and I'm really glad that it was something that, the Lord helped me to create, because it was something I never really heard about in all of my FIRE research and video watching and books. Is the order of withdrawal. Like, how are you supposed to withdraw this money once you reach your FIRE number? We're saving it, but we need a plan on how to withdraw this money to live on, because we're going to have to live on this between, let's say, 45 to 65. That's 20 years. And so as you can see, I have our first threshold right here, which has our rental income, side businesses, and so on and so forth. And this is basically once we reach 45, these are the first categories we are going to pull money from to live off of. And another goal that we had that I didn't mention previously was to have our current primary home paid off. But I do have something to tell you guys about our primary home in another video, so I'll save that for then. But the stock options is what my husband and I plan on using to pay off our primary home. So we have our first threshold here of where we would withdraw from. We have our second threshold there, and then our last threshold right there. So we are hoping that, the plan that we laid out for ourselves is one that'll be successful. I hope that you guys are I hope that this is motivating for you guys. When we're going through this process of trying to reach FIRE, sometimes you have to make adjustments, and that's the great thing, is that personal finance is personal, and sometimes you have to go back. Sometimes life events happen and you have to adjust. It doesn't mean you stop, and I don't believe you should stop, but you can go back and make adjustments. Maybe you have to make it longer a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. Just stay focused on the journey, and not just you, but myself and all of us will get there one day. So if you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. I'll make sure I get back to you. Don't forget to like and share the video if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.